I've been trying to make this video for like a long time, but I work all the time now, so don't have the time. But I made some time tonight. It's like 9 something and I need to be asleep, but I can't sleep. So I'm like, let me do something that's been on my mind. I just wanted to talk about how life's going for me right now, because I feel like I only post like sad shit on my channel, and I just want to, I wouldn't say this is like super positive, but I feel like it's, I don't know, good news. Anyway, life right now, like I said, I work all the time. Let me just start by saying this. Life overall is great right now. Everything's great, even though it looks like I am in a shed, in a bomb shelter or something. I'm just sitting in the garage because I have no privacy. But besides that, like, life really is good. I work all the time, which can be seen as a positive and a negative. I kind of like it. I have an inner workaholic inside of me that is like, whenever I can just be busy, I like to be busy. And I just feel terrible when I'm not like working, which is bad, honestly. But it's what I got now and it makes me feel good. So, yeah, I work like every day of the week, and I can't give too much information. One of the lights like just all right, anyway. I might have to move. I really didn't want to have to edit this, but now I'm gonna have to edit it. I don't know. This is just gonna have to work. This is terrible lighting, and it makes me so sad. What was I saying? Yeah, I work all the time. Can't give too much information about me working because, for reasons I also can't disclaim. But yeah, I work all the time. I'm doing stuff that I like to do, so that's great. My last job that I was doing, that I quit, I hated it. I hated it so much. And I was doing shit that I had no interest in at all. It did teach me a couple of things, which I, thank God for, because sometimes we go through things that we don't like to go through, but they teach us lessons that prepare us for the next phases of our lives. And I just, I appreciate that. But I hated the job. People were cool. The job itself, hated it. So now I'm doing things that I love to do. And I get to, like, I don't know, I don't have to be so corporate, I guess. I don't have to be, like, dressed up every day. Like, I be dancing. I love to dance, and I just dance and draw and interact with people, help people, love on people. And it's the best thing. So, yeah, I love that. As far as, like, I'm living in Wisconsin. Whoever's watching this probably doesn't even know, but I have lived in like Georgia for so many years of my life. I don't even know. And I do plan on going back one day, but right now, this is what's best for me. I mean, I can say that mentally it's done tremendous things for just my mental health. Like, I am no longer, this is making me like emotional, that's weird. Because it's a new sentence, I guess. It's something I've never said and been able to say with confidence, but I no longer worry about survival. I no longer worry about my basic needs being met. So now I can focus on living and growing. Oh, I be like trying to record videos and not get emotional, and then it just happens. But anyway, yeah, I no longer am so worried about shit that I shouldn't worry about. And I just get to live and work and develop as a person without being in survival mode. So that has helped my anxiety so much, and also my depression. Yeah. I'm in a good environment. I'm trying to think of what else I need to say. My hair is flourishing. You can't really see it, but it's flourishing. It's nice and moisturized. I be drinking my water, eating my vegan foods. Exercising. I be exercising. Reading. I feel something that I've learned over many years of struggling with depression and anxiety is that it makes it very difficult to take care of yourself, and then it creates this cycle of like, I feel sad, so I don't feel like taking care of myself. I'm not taking care of myself, so that's making me sadder. And you just get into the cycle of feeling sad. And so I've basically created a system for myself where I am taking care of myself, I guess you could say, and just making sure that my needs are being met so that I don't fall into those pits. And even when I do fall into those pits, I also have gotten to know myself well enough to help myself out of it so that I'm not stuck. So I have to repost all of the videos that I deleted because I don't know, I was going through this weird, I'll talk about it one day when I'm 1,000% over it. We're just gonna move that to another conversation. But I was going through this weird stage where I was kind of afraid to post anything too personal, because I was in a place mentally where I felt as if me sharing insecurities and struggles and putting them out to people would then use them to hurt me. So I was just like, let me delete all of this vulnerable shit because I don't want anybody to know this so they can hurt my feelings, And so I'm gonna post all of that stuff back because I feel like it'll make a lot more things make more sense. Because in those videos I was very sad and working very hard to get out of it. So yeah, I just would like to say that all of my hard work that I did over this time of trying to dig myself out of this deep sadness that I was in, it is paying off tremendously, and I can see it reflected in the life that surrounds me right now, the life that I'm a part of right now. It's reflecting beautifully, and it's short. Ooh, try not to get emotional, but it's showing me that I'm. This used to be my alma mater or my motto at my school, but I'm in the right place at the right time doing the right thing. That's what it's showing me, which is hilarious. But yeah, it's showing me that I'm on my shit, and I don't know, you can always take a look at your surroundings and they reflect what's going on internally. So I look at my surroundings and see the beautiful people I know, see the beautiful experiences I encounter. For example, getting the job. I can't even talk so much about it, but things have been coming with ease. Things have been just easing their way into my life without me putting forth any effort into doing it. And that is the way that I would like to continue to live my life. I would love to continue to live a life of ease and not having to forcefully do anything or be so controlling and have my hand in everything, that allow that space for things to just flow to me. I'm trying to allow more of that into my life, and that takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of self-work. Being present with yourself is like a big thing for me. I'm like all over the place, but I hope some of this is making sense. But yeah, I just see the beauty of the work, and I just thank God for every experience, because I don't know, I was watching this video by, what's her name? I can't even remember her fake name. Damn. The mom in the Bill Cosby show. Anyway, she had this video where she was saying, like, you have to take a look at how your life is, like, everything that's around you, the things that you're experiencing, and accept it as what you've created for yourself. Accept it as your own karma, accept it as your own doing, and move from there. And just looking at the life that surrounds me right now, I see it as good karma and a good momentum, that all of the struggling that, all of the struggling that I went through this past, like, I don't even want to say, like, life, all of the past of my life that I've gone through, and seeing it for the work that I've done to shift the momentum of the shit that I have been through, I see it reflected in how my life is unfolding so beautifully right now. Dang it. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, I just feel really good. And even when I feel sad, I'm so happy to experience that sadness. Like, I'm happy to allow and give myself the space to experience that. And I'm just grateful to be alive to experience that. You know, living is not just about experiencing one thing. Living is about experiencing it all. And I'm just so grateful. You know, like, when you're going through shit, you really don't, it's really hard to appreciate the struggles that you go through. But as I can see now for my life, the things you go through really prepare you for the things that are to come. And it makes things flow so much easier. Because if you are able to learn and take in the lessons that are taught to you throughout life, even at the hardest points, you can just allow so much ease, so much flow into your life. Because the reason that you experience those hard struggles is because there's resistance. And so when you learn through that resistance and you allow that flow, and shit just flows, and shit is just flowing right now. So yeah, I mean, I guess I'll talk about a downside. which is not really, it's a negative and a positive. I'm allergic to bread products like wheat, and I think like gluten, and I'm still experimenting with like rice and what's that other stuff? Soy, all of that. So for a while, I have been waking up like with so much mucus and like sneezing and coughing, and using my brain, I'm like, this is from inflammation. What is causing inflammation? So I started noticing, like, I stopped eating. I was like experimenting. So I'm like, I'm gonna cut out all of the bread, all of the soy, all of the refined sugars, and the shit just like went away. I wasn't waking up all mucusy and stuff. So now I'm trying to transition my life into not eating so many refined sugars, not eating bread, not eating soy, gluten, all of that. So the downside of that is that shit is delicious. All of that shit that I just named is freaking delicious. The upside is that it's unhealthy for you, and it's best that I cut that shit out anyway, because that's probably gonna make my life a lot easier if I wean myself off of those products or whatever early. It's probably gonna be like, well, I know it's what's best for my health, because even if you don't have the type of reaction I had to it, it's still bad for you, so I don't know. But yeah, so that's another thing. Another downside plus side, because I am in a new environment, I'm in a new state. I've only been here for, I want to say like 3 months, 2-3 months. I have no social life, but I'm working on it. But at this moment, with me working and like sleeping, and I'm completely self-absorbed right now, and I love it. But I do believe that having a social life and having an environment and community, because that is something that I have built in Georgia that I do not have here. And I miss it. And I miss my babies, my nephews. But what was I saying? Oh, I do believe that's important, because it did a lot for me, really, to just have the networks, because there was multiple dimensions to it. I'm grateful to have those multiple networks of support that I had. And I was in Georgia, 21 years, or at least 18 of them. Yeah, probably like at least 18 of those years I was in Georgia, and not until my 18th year was I able to build something like that. So, starting over, I'm like, it gives me a little bit of worry, because I'm like thinking about how much I had to push myself in order to create the environment that I had. And just thinking about it is like amazing to me, because I can recall step by step how it came about. But now I have to do that again, plus COVID, and not being able to see anyone or go anywhere really like that. And especially not to the events that I went to meet these people. So yeah, COVID, my shyness, me being in a new place and being anxious and not really knowing what people are like, you know what I mean? Like, cause I've been like, whenever I come to Wisconsin in the past, I was like very sheltered, very to myself, very at home. So now I'm just kind of learning and trying to experience the people, get to know the culture of like the environment that I'm in. So I don't know. It's bittersweet because the bitterness of it is like, I would love to have friends and like, do all the dating stuff and blah, blah, blah. But the sweet part of it is that I love to be alone and I love to be by myself and I love to be in complete silence and I love to just do the things that I want to do and worry about my own feelings and worry about my own problems and all of that. There's no but to that. I just love that shit. And I just love spending time with myself and I just be chilling. Like right now I'm basically talking to myself. But I also think it's important to know people and to get to know people and have a social experience involving other people. So I'm working on that. Yeah, I'm working on that. But like, I'm not in really like a forceful mood to force my way into any type of situations because I'm good. But I'm like, I'm open to all of it. I don't know. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Oh, I'm saving up to buy a car. That's like my next thing. Next thing that I'm excited about because I do make money. As you can see, I have my nails done, I have my feet done too. I'm wearing socks, so you can't really see, but I make money. And I left a $12 tip because I'm boiling. I'm kidding. But yeah, so I'm saving up to buy a car. Honestly, I don't even have any like free time to actually spend money. So this is about all that I do besides buying like necessities. Which I guess is like, everything just has a plus side and a negative side. But I try to lean more towards the plus side and focus on that and expound on that. Expand in that realm of the plus side. So yeah, I'm saving up to buy a car and I'm super excited because I've been like afraid to drive my whole life and now I'm like fucking optimistic about it and like gonna get my own shit. Like that's amazing to me and I'm just amazed by myself, Yeah, I'm just like doing better with control. No, I don't want to say controlling. I don't like to think about your relationship with yourself as like controlling your like. I'm very good at being and understanding and working through and working with my emotions. I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better at working with my thoughts and understanding my thoughts and redirecting my thoughts. I'm getting better at communicating with myself and with others. I'm getting better with patience. I'm just doing better. I'm doing much better. I'm doing much. Ooh, don't get emotional. Again, for like third time. I'm doing so much better. I wish there was like, I would say this in caps, but it's like super quiet. But I'm doing fucking amazing. I'm doing much better. Life is not perfect, and I don't think I ever want it to be cookie cutter clean. It's not perfect, but it's perfect. It's a great experience, and I'm grateful to have this experience. It's going much better. It's just going much better. I am at peace. I'm doing much better. And it's like, I'm getting emotional and saying it so much because if you only knew I don't know. It's like in the hard times, I'm not really sad about things that happen to me. I'm more sad for the person who had to go through it. It's just like me seeing, you see someone homeless on the street, you think it's sad. You see a sad movie, you're like, that's sad that that person had to go through that. I kind of feel that same way. And so when I just look back and I'm like thinking about how fucking sad I was, like, then that's the only way that I would put it. The sadness, the frustration, the sickness, the all of that, like, just thinking back to that just makes me so grateful to how far I've come from that and how hard I've worked on myself and worked with myself to move forward from all of the shit that I went through, It's amazing, and I just thank God. I thank my ancestors. I thank every force. I've been reading The Alchemist. I've been reading The Alchemist, and the quote that everybody loves from The Alchemist is, like, when you want something, the universe conspires with you to get it, or everything in the universe conspires with you to get it. Something like that. That shit's fucking true. And I just feel like I just want to thank every force in the fucking universe that is conspiring me and working with me and pushing through to get me to where I'm going. And I don't even know where I'm going, but I'm excited. I'm excited to go there, Like, I just feel optimistic. My life has always been anxiety for the future because I was so worried about literally the next day if I would have somewhere to sleep. So my whole life, I felt anxiety for the future. And right now I feel optimistic about the future. I feel optimistic about any experience, positive or negative, that's coming to me. Because it's just like, I know my power. And I know that regardless of all of the things that I've been through, I'm here, and nothing could take me out but the universe itself, or God itself. And it's like, I just feel happy, and optimistic about the future, and optimistic about any experience that comes to me. And I'm just taking it day by day and not feeling so impulsive. I feel like my impulsivity of the past came from this urge that rose from me just being dissatisfied with my life, and this urge to snap a finger and change it, which is very possible to do, but also kind of traumatic. A little traumatic if you snap yourself into negative things, I will say that. But not everything that I've experienced has had to be, I'm learning that I don't always have to snap to change my life, or I don't always have to snap out of it. I put a lot of pressure on myself to snap out of it. I put a lot of pressure on myself to just be something that I'm not. And I'm learning that I can be patient with myself, and I can work with myself to gradually move myself to somewhere, or move somewhere to where I want to be. And that is what has been reflected in my life. Where I am now has taken me just getting up every day, even when I didn't want to, and moving every day, even when I didn't want to, and praying and taking showers. And if you struggle with depression, you know how hard it is to get up and take a shower, get up and clean up. Shit like that, that's just, it's taken me to show up in those things to get to where I am. And I'm just so grateful and appreciative to God first, but to myself as well, for showing up for me. for giving myself the love of showing up for the betterment of my health and myself. And I think that's a good place to end this. Thank you so much if you're here to the end. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that, you know, something in here was helpful. I hope that anybody who was ever worried about me and how I was doing, that this is some type of, I don't know, this makes you feel good. I hope this just invokes good emotions to anybody who comes across it. And I just wish you all a wonderful life and all of the desires of your heart to come true. And yeah.